revenue projections, and customized reporting. Command shines a light on your business so you're never left in the dark. Housed within the Command dashboard is Lead Accelerator, an intelligent marketing tool. Get leads through ROI and AI-optimized ad campaigns across Facebook, Instagram, Google AdWords, Twitter, and an ever-growing list of channels in seconds. And campaigns aren't limited to the digital space. Quickly set up and deploy a modern print marketing campaign to specific homes identified based on your criteria. That means brand awareness grows and leads flow faster with far less spend. And if you think you have to be a computer scientist to take advantage, rest assured, because Command was built hand in hand with agents. It's designed to be used by agents, by you. Simple, smart, human. Command puts you in control of your database, your business, and your future. It's time to take command.
Real estate is about helping people with one of the most fundamental aspects of their lives, home. And you are the expert they turn to. And not just when someone buys or sells, but before, after, and all the little spaces in between. So it can be frustrating when you don't have the time or technology to know when someone needs your help. And when you miss that opportunity, it creates a gap that someone or something else can step into. So let's close that gap and give you the time and technology you need to build high-quality relationships with more people. Let's join forces and demand our technology not replace us, but help us be more human, more present, more everything. Let's take command. Built exclusively by and for Keller Williams agents, Command is your do-it-all, do-it-quickly, people-centric, less stress, more time, end-to-end platform to grow your relationships, your pipeline, and your market share. Whew! Luckily, using it is a lot easier than explaining everything it does, but let's give it a try. Organize, customize, and sync all your contacts. Group them however you want. Know exactly who to reach out to, when, and about the things they really care about. Send personalized neighborhood-centric just-in-time marketing materials in a snap. Have more conversations, build more relationships, earn more business. Say, "Hey Kelly," and escape from your desk in the office. Add a new contact, log notes, and sync everything while on the go. Seamlessly and transparently source, send, and manage referrals through one of the world's largest and most profitable referral networks. Deploy an ROI-maximized ad campaign across Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter in like 30 seconds. Integrate the systems and tools you already use every day. Automate paperwork and background tasks. Access real-time revenue projections, end-to-end ROI insights, and goal tracking to get a bird's-eye view of your business. Have more conversations, build more relationships, earn more business. Command empowers you to be a better agent by giving you more time, more value, and more freedom. And best of all, it ensures you and your relationship with your clients remain at the heart of real estate, where you belong.
A few years ago, we gathered all the smartest people we knew: agents, market centers and regional leaders, technologists, data scientists, and asked them some big questions. What does it look like when technology is simple, smarter, and more human? How can we ensure agents stay at the center of the transaction where their clients want them? How do we accomplish this while eliminating the cost? It's called Command, and it's going to change the way we do business. Start by adding contacts directly, or through a simple voice command with Kelly. All calls, texts, notes, and any other customized fields are synced automatically across all platforms. When you add a new contact to Command, a neighborhood is automatically associated with their address. That way you can share the most pertinent information, such as migration patterns or median home price. Marketing materials have evolved from one-to-many to one-to-one, providing value at the home and neighborhood level for everyone in your database. And with Command, your business is not restricted by IDX. Wherever your clients are, there you are. Another challenge agents identified was the complexity added to the transaction by piecing together different systems connected by spreadsheets. We solved this by ensuring Command aggregated offers, documents, and communications with your client and broker, all in one place. Get a quick overview of your listings, appointments, contracts, closed deals, revenue projections, and customized reporting. Command shines a light on your business so you're never left in the dark. Housed within the Command dashboard is Lead Accelerator, an intelligent marketing tool. Get leads through ROI and AI-optimized ad campaigns across Facebook, Instagram, Google AdWords, Twitter, and an ever-growing list of channels in seconds. And campaigns aren't limited to the digital space. quickly set up and deploy a modern print marketing campaign to specific homes identified based on your criteria. That means brand awareness grows and leads flow faster with far less spend. And if you think you have to be a computer scientist to take advantage, rest assured, because Command was built hand in hand with agents. It's designed to be used by agents, by you. Simple, smart, human. Command puts you in control of your database, your business, and your future. It's time to take command.
Third prize is your fine.
Okay, so for those of you that know, we're having movie night here at the office, October 25th. Oh, there it is, 4 o'clock in this room. So we're gonna have food and drink and fun, so please join us October 25th.
And I got a popcorn machine.
Oh, yay! Yay! Beer and popcorn. Nice. All right, awesome, thank you. Oh, all right, lights, Bruce, wait, what just happened? Okay,
We're good.
okay, all right.
Hold up the
Thank you,
calendar.
brother. Okay, there's gotta be a better way.
Yeah, the link. I gotta fix that slide.
Okay, all right, well,
It's supposed
stop.
to take us here. Oh,
Okay.
go home.
No, it's okay. All right, here we go. This is our internal website. It's
Go on the homepage.
kwramrock.com. So
Yes.
this is where you can find everything that you need, anything and everything. And then if you need to talk to us or you need help with something, there's a request for help. It actually gets emailed to every single staff member, even if you say it's a request for Bruce. We all get it. That way whoever can respond first to you can take care of you. So just know that this is where you will find everything. And I also dumped a bunch of coaching, well, Bruce dumped a bunch of coaching stuff onto the coaching site, and that's on my list of things to do is to organize that. But if you're looking for help on how to fill out a buyer's rep or how to fill out a contract, all that kind of stuff is there. Okay, but the reason we were pulling this up is to show you the calendar so we can talk about that. So today we did change property tour to 12:30 on Tuesdays. However, there's no houses on tour today, so there will be no party bus. But hopefully we'll have some buses, we'll have some houses on tour next week, and then we can all pile in the party bus and go check them out. That's the plan. Yeah. That's the plan. Yeah, okay. And then tomorrow morning, Avis will be here to teach broker responsibility. If you haven't, I believe you have to sign up, right, Candy? You can't just show up?
They can just show up, but
Okay.
before you sign up so we can make sure we have the right amount of lunch and the room is set up for the right number of people.
Okay. So just so you know, broker responsibility, it's 6 hours. How much does it cost? $20?
$20.
Okay.
If they need the credit.
Yeah. If you need the credit, it's 6 hours. If you have a team or you're going to have a team, it's required that you take this class. So, okay. And then we have new agent and tech orientation, and then we have open house peer group with Melissa. And then on Thursday, farming peer group with Tara. And then, is anybody signed up for that agent investor class with Gary? I was gonna say, I saw that they did it in Waco, and I heard really, really good things about it. So if you're on the fence about it, you might want to sign up for it. It's 2 hours, right?
In his class?
Yeah.
It's not our Gary.
No, it's
No,
one.
it's
No,
not.
it's 3 of them.
Oh, I thought you said it was an hour. No, it's not our Gary Wilson.
No, this guy is a broker, in Pennsylvania area. And last time I got the list, I think we had like about 15 to 20 people that RSVP for it.
Okay. You can still RSVP for it. Okay. And then on Friday, we have command with Bruce, and then I'm teaching 0 to 2 transactions. I think we're going to talk about net sheets on Friday. And then we have our labs happy hour. And then I know Nevada has a special. You want to just tell us what you're doing on Saturday?
It's just a personal finance and credit workshop.
Just where it's kind of like, I guess everybody calls it a first time home buyer seminar. So I don't like using that terminology. So it's called professional finance credit workshop.
Okay,
Real estate workshop.
cool. And then Monday, Bruce?
You feeding the people?
Maybe, maybe not.
All right, so Monday, never-ending referral starts.
Yes, it does. I hope to see all of y'all there.
If you've not taken never-ending referrals before, this would be a good time to start. And if you have taken it before, this would be a good time to take it again. And so Candy will be teaching some of it. I'll teach a few of the sessions, the more real estate heavy sessions. But this is really, now with what we have in command, I mean, this is really going to teach you, for those of you who don't know, it's going to teach you to work your database at a really high level and provide high value to your database. And then at 2, we have command with Bruce. And then
9:30 to
9:30, 11:30, 9:30 to 11:30. And then, of course, Tuesday morning, we have Dustin's marketing class. And we'll talk about that too, and save that. And then if we have property tour, we'll see if we have property tour. Anyway, all right, that's what I got. You go.
Are we gonna do the,
Yes, so it's like a listing, what do you want to call that?
that's a good question.
So we did, so just so you know, so, Kapil, I used your listing as an example, remember, a couple weeks ago? And then last Friday, I pulled it up again, and it was still the same price.
Because we got an offer.
Oh, well, that's good.
We're just negotiating now.
Okay, so what we did with Kapil's listing that was kind of cool is if someone has a listing, and we can use our own listings in the office, someone has a listing that's maybe been on the market for a while, we did kind of like a deep dive to try to figure out why is it still on the market. Is it price? Is it condition? Are you not, like, and so one of the lessons that we learned was like price watching. Like, obviously, if you have a listing, you need to be paying attention to what else is going on in that neighborhood. Because we found that Kapil had a new list, another listing came on after his and sold while his just kind of sat. So we, we're going to start working on that and how to really look at a listing and determine why it's been sitting for a while, and then kind of go over what our rules are for listings and when we talk about price adjustments. So, all right, any buyer needs? Anybody looking for a unicorn that they can't find? And yeah.
So if you have a Perry built listing that's not brand new, around 2,000 square feet and under 330, I have a buyer for it. Has to have a view. The biggest deal. So a lot of the new ones they're building.
Your view in the other houses?
Not
Have
great
you looked
spots.
in Rancho Sienna?
I have, but the price point is too high.
Because a lot of, some of those have views. It's only
Right.
How big did you say?
2,000 give or take. Could be
I
bigger.
have one coming on. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, any other buyer needs?
I have one that's looking for something under 275,
Okay.
and her biggest thing is that she wants a 3-car garage or more in Round Rock.
That sounds fun.
That is a unicorn.
So if y'all know one,
Okay, awesome. Any other buyer needs?
There's commercial buyer needs. If everybody has their eyes open, I have a buyer who needs commissary kitchen or second gen kitchen in a 5 to 10 mile radius of the Long Center. And I also have a buyer need who is looking for a 30,000 square foot building or 3 to 7 acres.
You should probably talk to Carolyn.
Works out really work.
Right. Any other buyer needs? All right, any new listings? Anybody have any new listings they want to talk about? Yes,
A lease listing in Crystal Knolls going on the market today.
okay,
1475, 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2-story, 111 Mahogany Lane.
okay.
Back fields. Don't have anything in the back. Nice trees in back.
Any other new listings? Coming soons?
Yes, we have coming soon a hut. It'll be a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. And another one in Rock, George County. That one will become both of those, well, to be determined. Right now, target date is 25th October.
All right, any other new listings coming soon? Okay. Bruce?
So compliance and command. Sounds like we're kind of repetitive, yet there's some new folks in here. We're still in the holding pattern with continuing to use .loop as usual for our documents and compliance. So we're working on putting together a team of testers, so to speak, who would be willing to using DocuSign, using compliance in command, and trying it out, and being willing to deal with any bugs and any troubles, and reporting that to us so we know and can address those and get that fixed and make sure the system's working really well before we ask everyone to transfer over. So we're in the process of getting a list together. If you are interested, please email me, say, hey, I want in on the test group. And we're getting about probably between 4 to 8 people, not too many, because Mary has to work both systems right now. Yes.
What's the time span that the testing is going to occur in? How many months?
It won't be months. I'm thinking weeks. It depends on what we find. Right.
Starting now?
Yeah, starting this week. Hopefully, we get the group together, get everyone on the same page, and then let Mary know these are the people that need to check. And then for the deals that you're doing for testing inside command, we'll need to know, what properties are those, so we know, just communication, and we'll get that going and go from there. But yeah.
Okay, and then foosball tournament. I'm working on this feverishly. Has anyone in here ever run a foosball tournament? All right, thanks. So October 16th, 5 o'clock upstairs. Just look, I posted something on Facebook last night. Just we're working on getting that put together. What is today? Tuesday. By the end of the week, this week, I'll have sign up out. So if you're interested in signing up and all of that, I'll have that out. So I was open for that. All right, and then we have some special guests today. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Brian and Heather from the board, WC Realtors, and I'm going to get out of their way.
Oh, you can stay there. No, stay there for just a second. Anyway. You need help back up in the chair?
I got it. I'm going to, yeah.
That's good. Hey, good morning. How are y'all?
Good. Good morning.
I'm going to start today by saying something, which she won't tell you. She actually didn't fall off a curb. She's in a kickboxing fight this weekend. Mixed martial artist with the UFC. And, oh wait, that was the board of directors meeting last week. I'm sorry. No, I want to actually congratulate Michelle. I don't know if y'all will be the very first people to hear this, but Michelle has officially been nominated as your 2020 president-elect for the Williamson County. Official as of 8 o'clock this morning. So on October 31st, on Halloween Day, October 31st, we'll have our annual business meeting, and we'll have a city update by Craig Morgan, from the city of Round Rock's going to come talk about it. Maybe Russ Bulls from Williamson County to talk about the bond program, do a little bit of business, and we'll have the opportunity to vote on Michelle and a whole slate of people who are running for officer and director roles. And so thank you for your continued service and congratulations. It's a big honor to be trusted for that. And so it's good. How many of y'all members of Williamson County Association? Okay, good. About most of y'all, fantastic. Did you get your sticker, the patch sticker? You're just north of Weird sticker. That's what we like to say about ourselves, is that we're just north of Weird. Michelle asked us to come today and talk a little bit about the board and tell you about a couple of things that are happening, some different things that are going on. And so I'm going to try very brief. I don't know how much time I have.
I think 15 minutes.
Oh, that much time?
Yeah.
Oh, I could go on for a long time. All right. I won't take all 15 minutes.
Yeah, well, we started late too, so maybe 10.
Okay. What I would like to do is I want to tell you about a couple of things that are happening at the association, so that you know. We are there. It gets lost sometimes. A lot of times we think about the association as that's where I got to go spend money for dues and I got to go buy an office, right? And we recognize that is a big drive to why people are involved. But the association really is designed to be a partner between designated realtors and brokers, agents, and the world of advocacy and education. We recognize, our board of directors there recognizes that a lot of associations in the state, not going to mention any specifically, but a lot of them are focused on things that really aren't pertinent to what we're doing. You know, they're worried about social issues that we should care about, but maybe not necessarily as an association, like whether or not the Santa Claus's reindeers are humanitarianly kept, and you know, whether what advocacy programs going on for XYZ social cause at the time, or what's happening in global politics that has nothing to do with the real estate or the real property world. At Williamson County Association of Realtors, I want to tell you that we are laser focused on Williamson County. In fact, your board of directors under Michelle's leadership in great part has just rolled out its 2021 strategic plan. I have a copy of it on the back side of that for you to tell you what we're committed to do. And what we're committed to do is keep our pace. We are there to promote realtors inside of Williamson County, the Code of Ethics and Professional Standards. Our role, our job is to make sure that as realtors, we're living up to a higher standard. We're not acting like people who are not realtors. We're not acting and treating each other unethically, unprofessionally. In addition to that, we know it's our job to promote you as realtors, as well as the other 2,150 plus or minus realtors in Williamson County, to promote you and to promote your utilization. So in fact, if, you'll see an ad in the, it's kind of cool, in the Williamson County Reload Guide that's about to come out. Every one of you that was a member of the association on July 31st, your name is actually part of that ad. Your name is there as part of the intent of trying to promote Williamson County Realtors. The second part of our case is our advocacy. We're working diligently to promote real property rights for those people involved in the real property industry in Williamson County. So you may or may not know, how many of you know the rollback tax? Just got it changed. Did y'all know that? So how many of you deal with raw land, ag exemption, stuff like that in your career? Rollback. So rollback tax is always a huge negotiation, particularly in commercial, right? You got a parcel of property that's zoned as agricultural. You sell that property, they flip it to any kind of zoning, and they've been able to go back for 8 years and assign market or the tax rate based on what it was 8 years ago for that whole duration plus interest, which can add up to tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars. I can tell you, I did a transaction myself personally where Denton County assessed $170,000 rollback tax on a parcel of property that was being converted from agricultural to commercial use. I mean, it is a hindrance. In the 86th legislative session, we were successful in getting that changed. And so now the rollback tax has been limited. The interest has been limited to 2.5%. And it's, I think, a 3-year reach back now instead of an 8-year reach back, which is an amazing thing for your consumers. We're working with the road bond issue that's going on in Williamson County, the park bond issue that's going on in Williamson County. We're directly involved in what's happening with the impact fees inside of the city, sign ordinances that are trying to restrict how many signs you as a real estate agent can have out advertising your open houses, from the littlest topic to the grandest scheme. The biggest thing we're working on right now is the flood insurance program. Anybody deal with flood insurance? I've had property that flooded and lived through flood. It's no fun. That is expired. It expires again on October 31st. So all of our friends in Beaumont, all of our friends in Houston who would have flood insurance would no longer have it. We're going to get that. We believe we're going to be successful in getting that extended again. And so it doesn't matter how small or how large, if it affects real property and you're working on it, that's what we do at Williamson County. We advocate on your behalf to do that. We're working on connecting. Are you hot? We're working on. Oh, okay. I'll just do this quick. We're working on connecting. The C of our pace is working on connecting, and we're taking a new step in 2020. In the past, we've worked on connecting realtor to realtors, which is important, right? Don't you want to know the person on the other side of the table? When I did practice real estate, I wanted to know who I was coming up on the table with. So I'd go to Trek and I'd look up their education and see how long they've been in business and what kind of work that they had done. I wanted to. So we do that. We're going to continue to work on that. We're also going to work starting in 2021 connecting realtors to consumers. This is a huge step, right? But here's a reality that we've recognized. Our industry, in large part, has betrayed realtors. We take your information, we put it into these systems that are for profit, and then we sell it. And then it gets sold back to you, and it sucks. And so we're working on ways to try to promote realtors in Realtor County. And so we're kicking around ideas of how can we, for example, create a consumer-based portal that lists all of the CTX MLS listings and only displays on it the agent who lists that property. And make it so that any of those leads come back to the actual agent. So you don't have to pay for it. It's a member benefit for you. And we're considering ideas like that of how to go about making it easier, better for you. The final part is educate, and we're doing some phenomenal things. I know y'all do a great education program at KW. In fact, I can tell you, and Michelle doesn't even know that at one time I was a KW agent. You know that? Yeah. At one time, many moons ago, probably before Avis even got her broker's license, I was, not that I know at KW does great education, 200 yards that way. We offer 360 education opportunities a year, night, weekend, evening classes, as well as daytime classes at every brokerage stage. In fact, Heather has got a project on her desk right now that, look, she just took another deep sigh. She's involved in right now leading a research project to study the life cycle of realtors. The sad thing is in Texas that 66.7% of realtors in the state of Texas have been in the industry for less than 2 years. And for agents in the industry for less than 2 years, the gross income for a realtor in the state of Texas is less than $10,000. We're committed to trying to figure out how to counteract that. We want Williamson County agents as a whole to be successful and have long careers. And so she's leading a research project that is aimed at identifying what some of the key indicators are and what we can do better to help with your life cycle. And so we're excited about it. It's the tip of the iceberg of what's happening just across the road. And we're excited that y'all are members of. I want to talk about 3 things, but before I talk about these 3 things, does anybody have any questions for me? Anybody have a question that's just dying on your head? I know there's one that's always out there, and I'm just waiting for somebody to ask me it. No? All right. I figured for sure somebody was going to say, when are you guys going to get a unified MLS so I don't have to have 5 MLSs in Williamson County? I know somebody's going to ask that question. Yeah. Just waiting for somebody to ask me it. I'm not
when are you going to get it unified?
So,
But now that you've asked it.
Yeah, no, I've asked it. Can I tell you, it sucks. It sucks. Can I use that word here? Mm-hmm. Okay. And I get it. The reality is in Williamson County, you have to, if you're in Williamson County, there's 2 MLSs you have to have. A lot of our brokers and agents now have 4 or 5. And the answer to that is in no time soon. MLSs are for-profit entities. They're all owned and run by board of directors, and they're in business to make money. And unfortunately, MLSs don't play nice in the sandbox. Although, is anybody here an actress member? A member of ABOR? A member of ABOR? So I understand ABOR just sent a survey. Can I ask you a favor? They just sent a survey out to all of their members. Take that survey, and on the question, there's a question in there that says, do you think actors should work on consolidating with CTX MLS? Answer yes to that question. I want to tell you from Williamson County's perspective, we have been going to actors on an ongoing basis and saying, we need reciprocity so your agents and our agents aren't dealing with lockbox issues when they have clients sitting in a hot car. And we really want to find a way to play nice in the sandbox. And we've been met with resistance every single time we go. And it's a control issue and it's a money issue, and we get it. At Williamson County, we're willing to invest the money. Our board of directors wants us to play nice in the sandbox. We want to get it done, and it's not getting done. And it's not going to get done anytime soon, but we're making steps and we're chiseling away behind the background. So to counteract that, we have done a few things. And let me tell you about a couple of those. One, I told you about the Educate 360 program. There's a little bit about it on here for you. CTX MLS, it's just a reality. It's becoming powerful enough that you've got to have it. The great thing about CTX, by the way, if you have both, how many of you have both CTX and Actress? Yeah. Are y'all using RPR? So RPR, I don't know if you know this, RPR has a mechanism built into it to bring all of your information together in one spot. So when you're doing CMAs and other stuff like that, you can use RPR to bring everything into one place for you. Greatly help you and your consumers. That's free, by the way. That's paid. We paid for that for you through NAR. The thing I would tell you about is the bottom part of this, which is called All Access. Our members, people who are members of our association and who subscribe to CTX MLS, watch this. Candy, right? Candy's gonna watch this. I told her.
I kind of told her it was coming.
Michelle has helped and has led the way as part of our board of directors. We just invested $250,000 into a program called All Access. And what it effectively does is if you have both, you're a member and you do CTX, we have over 40 hours of high quality continuing education that's included with your subscription and membership annually. Not 10 hours, not 18 hours, there are 40 hours. And 40 hours was specific because 40 hours is more than enough to pay for your MLS. So we understand this is how serious that's been.
Does that include the legal?
It does not include legal yet, but I'm hoping to be able to get legal 1 and legal 2. What we have to work on doing on that is finding the instructor that we can partner with inside of the formula of how it works. But we hope to in 2020 have legal as part of that. The bigger thing is we want to do something that says we get it, we recognize it, we understand it, we empathize, and we value you as a member. We want you to be successful. And then the final thing I'd say, Robert served on a task force for us for CTX MLS, and Robert, we're within 60 days. We will launch, I think in good authority, that within 60 days we're going to launch a commercial information exchange for commercial practitioners here, not specific to Williamson County. It will be for Central Texas. We think we're going to be able to rapidly grow that from Victoria, Texas up into the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex to create a syndication-based information exchange for commercial property that excludes the necessity for displaying sold information and excludes the necessity for cooperative compensation, which are the two big things our commercial practitioners told us they need. So it's syndicated to a national site that will bring every lead back to you as a commercial practitioner. And go ahead and ask us what that's going to cost.
Yeah. What are we looking at? $60 a quarter?
I'm not looking at you. You got to set the price. Okay. I think we're gonna. I'm just kidding. I think we're gonna get that done for less than $650 a year. Less than $650 a year. So comparable to just what everything else would be. We're working our tails off for y'all. We're working as hard and as diligently as we can. Yes, ma'am.
Right here it says for only $35 per month. Is it $35 a month, or
yeah, so,
you have to pay up front?
Yes, thank you for asking that. So one of the great was Heather's idea. She came up with this idea. She's figured out how to do it. We're the only MLS in the state. CTX MLS is the only MLS in the state that will allow you to pay it monthly. You can actually set your MLS on a $35 a month monthly fee. It would just bill your credit card. You get full access. You get instantaneous access to the All Access program. You absolutely. Only MLS in the state that does that. And that's not all MLS, by the way. That's only Williamson County.
That's not over and above the other.
No, ma'am. That's for MLS.
That's just breaking it down.
That's breaking it
Yeah,
down
we
per
break it
month,
down.
so you have a choice whether you want to pay it by the month, whether you want to pay it semi-annually or annually. And if you actually start out where you're doing Central Texas and Actress, and you start out with Central Texas to get your key through us, you can throw that on a month to month and then just get it turned on over there. Don't pay those startup fees, don't pay those application fees.
Yeah, so,
For new agents, that's very helpful, who do both.
yeah, so that's another big key, and we're running out of time, but the other thing, so here's the, kind of thing, the other thing that we've done that's amazing. Our board of directors, we have agreed, and they've just set all the rates. No fee, no add-on fees, no extra costs, none of that other stuff. And the bill at or at Williamson County this year is unchanged. Everybody else is raising the dues. NAR's charging their fee, TAR's charging their fee. We understand local boards around us have raised their membership dues pretty significantly. Our bill is going to be the same. And have no fees. So membership at Williamson County with key card. You're a member at Williamson County, you have your key card there, you have your MLS there. We co-op your key. If you have access, we will co-op your key for you, so your key will work essentially everywhere from just south of Waco all the way to through San Antonio down into Victoria, Texas. We'll co-op your key and make it work for you everywhere that we can. And I think we calculated it out. Of course, we're not going to talk about any specific association that may or may not be right here in this specific area. We couldn't do that because antitrust. We wouldn't want to do that. Would not want to do that. But I think we end up being about $150 a year less back in your pocket. For what we think is exponentially better service. Anyway, any other questions I can answer? We've exhausted our time, yes, ma'am.
So we're currently with the A board. Wanted to go and guys, what are we looking at right now?
Between now and the end of the year, we're going to waive your membership fee, and and you don't have you have none of the application fees between now and the end of the year. Come switch, you won't pay anything when you come switch right now. In October, when the bill comes out, you'll just pay your bill to us as opposed to paying the one to whatever association you're from.
Do you guys?
We absolutely do. In fact, I'm proud to say, so I'm proudly a President Circle member myself. Probably inducted to the Hall of Fame and Tree Pack next year. Personally, PAC is incredibly important to us. Advocacy part on our budget, we're serious about that. This year, we went from having three major investors. This year, I think this year we ended up with 15 or 17 major investors. Next year, we'll have probably at least 10 President Circle members. We have 4 events annually. Next year we'll have 4 events on the calendar that are tree pack specific events. So we are huge advocates and want to become larger.
Well, I know we all have tons of gold.
Yeah, you all have fun. Yeah. Some people have too much fun. I don't think that was anybody in this office. Great question. Any other questions we can answer for you? All right, so Heather actually has, so we brought gifts. Did everybody get your Just North the Weird stickers?
I handed them out.
Yeah, we have t-shirts over there, by the way, that say Just North the Weird if you want to. So can anybody tell me what all access is real quick?
$40
40 hours of CE credits for membership in CTX, right? All right, so Robert, do you have them? We brought gift cards. We're going to give gift cards away here. Y'all like Starbucks?
Gift cards.
What are you looking for? You buying gift cards, so Robert got one. I don't know what other questions that we would ask. What's the greatest association in the state? Definitely right there. You got it right there. Where do you get the most personal service? Which association provides you the most personal service? Oh, she got it right here.
These are really hard questions.
And then, where would you find Williamson County if you needed to find Williamson County? Yeah, right there. They both raised their hands at the same time. I think he's more involved, so the guy in the blue shirt gets it, and because he's teaching a class. Although you could give it to him, and he could give it to his class. I'll let you pick. You're all knowing it. Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much.
Oh, by the way, I would just offer to you, if we can ever serve you in any way, you can obviously text, you can obviously call, email. You can call and you will get a live voice on the phone. We've committed to that. And I can serve you anyway. Call me. Just ask for me. We'll figure out the when, the where. We'll sit down, have a meeting, talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about. I'm glad to serve you any way that we possibly can. Appreciate y'all. Thank you. Oh, can we leave this bag for you for Avis?
Yeah. Just put it in my office.
On your office?
Okay, well, we already talked about this, but yes. Yeah. Oh, that's the luxury bus tour.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Here, we'll leave it.
Thank you.
Okay, so we talked about this property tour changing, right? So we can skip through that. Okay, Bruce.
So,
Could you do something real quick before could you please bring my water?
yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Love to. So agent websites through command. So first news, it's been delayed to the 22nd as far as when we're going to be able to launch them. What's going on right now is like the pre-setup for your site. And this is kind of a guide. So if you choose to stay with Playster, you don't really need to do anything. If you have a custom domain that you're pointing to your Playster site, you're going to need to point that to your new site through KW October 22nd. And then right now there's a guide. So, and Dustin helped people walk through it this morning a little bit, right? In his class, I teach in my command classes. There's basically a guide that walks you through the preliminary setup of the site, like putting in your information, your photo, all kinds of good information. So when the site's launched, all that pre-work will be done. So there are two bugs that have been noticed with that guide. One is the very first page of the guide. It asks you to fill out all this information. You fill it all out, you hit the button that says something's not filled out. And you look again, everything's filled out, you change it. So two things we've noticed. One, even if it shows your photo there, or you may need to just re-upload it. And so the message isn't being clear. What's happening, I think, is the photo isn't sized the way it wants it. So you re-upload the photo, you draw a box around it, it takes it, and then you're good. And then the other one is phone numbers. You can't have dashes. It's something someone else noticed that. Also, if you're using a computer and your browser is helpful and it auto fills everything out for you, sometimes that will mess it up too. So just be careful. Here's some 3 little bugs. Once you get past that, then it's been pretty smooth past that initial step. Yeah. And if you have a Playster website, I don't know with the extension if they extended the ability to download. So if you have a Playster website that you built and you got a bunch of content over there, you can do a button that lets you download all that from Playster. It's not in a really great, it's a text format, but if you wrote a paragraph like your bio or whatever, it'll give you the ability to copy and paste that over to the new sites once those are out. So that's that really quick, just based on time.
Cool.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So something that's just been added to designs is listing presentations. So do I have time to go show it? Okay, cool. So I'm going to flip over here into that and show you that. So I'm going to go to agent.kiddo.com. I'm going to log in as me. And so design is like our marketing center where we create marketing material. So until we have these icons memorized, you can click the little red KW and that pops out. So I can see this is designs. So I click on that. Listing presentation is a it's print material, right? So to create one, I'm going to hit the plus in the bottom right. I'm going to say print, create, because it's a print material. You can give it a listing. You can choose a listing if you want to. You may not need to for a listing presentation, but you can. If you're on your computer, it will probably auto log you here, but maybe it asks you to log in again, and then it'll load. Over on the left-hand side, you're going to see listing presentations button. They have 2 different templates to choose from right now. So click use. This is going to take me into setting that up. I'll just show you around it real briefly because we don't have a whole lot of time to walk you through it. All right, so once this loads, basically I'm just going to hit this show all pages. So these are the pages of this listing presentation. So now I can use this tool to customize all the pages that I want to customize, put my photo, you know, set up all the different pages that I'm interested in, you know, make it my own, right? And so once you've done all that and it's ready to go, you can hit the download up here, choose PDF, download a high quality PDF of the listing presentation, print it or display it, however you want to do that. But I just wanted to just briefly show you guys that there's 2 listing presentations in Command Designs now that were added last week. And I'm sure there'll be more stuff like this to come. All right. Okay, this should be an inspiration.
Oh, okay, cool. So,
all right, here we go. Oh.
It's probably me trying to get off this chair.
Okay, that's okay. I can pull it back up.
So when you think about your dreams and your hopes and your relation to them, your progress towards them, what are the stories that you tell yourself? Do you talk about how little time you have? Do you talk about how much is on your plate? Do you sometimes talk about how maybe you feel adrift in other people's priorities? Or maybe a little lost in the sense of where your own are? I tell you from 5 years of researching our book, The One Thing, and 5 years of teaching it, that those feelings are pretty universal today. People are pinballing from meeting to meeting every single day, rushing from opportunity to obligation at breakneck pace. And they don't always know why they're doing it. Have you ever had that day? You're just running from meeting to meeting, you forget to eat lunch, you wonder when you look at your schedule when you actually get to go to the bathroom, and you make it home, and your spouse asks, hey, what'd you do today? And you actually don't have a good answer. You're just like, I was busy. Right? That's a tough feeling to live with day in, day out. And it's one of the challenges we wanted to address with our book. You know, time is our most precious asset. We all get the same amount every day, but we don't know ultimately how much we get. And we have hopes and dreams and we want to accomplish them. So if we could share a different framework, not only how we view time, maybe it's a little bit more limited than we would like to believe, and also how we can connect our someday to today in that order, in reverse, sometimes we can get a lot better results. My kids were 6 and 7, and my wife had just launched her real estate business, and we were in the throes of writing this book. We were overwhelmed. We just bought a house. It had a swimming pool, and I was learning how to keep a swimming pool not green. And we were absolutely overwhelmed. And this is going to be our kids' first spring break. And we decided that we were going to take a staycation. And we had this wonderful rationalization. We have a new pool, we want to enjoy it. We're going to see Austin through the eyes of a visitor. And we justified it to ourselves. And I remember I walked into the writing room, and my partner, Gary Keller, he has an older son, so he's like in tune with these things. He goes, hey, where are y'all going for spring break? And I launch into my story about the great staycation, right? And he nods his head, and like a good mentor, he kind of gives me a wake-up call. I remember it. He said, Jay, you know you've only got about 10 left. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? He goes, this idea of Jay, Wendy, Gus, and Veronica going on spring break, it's got an expiration date. In 10 years, they're going to be wanting to go with their friends. Or better yet, they're going to want their friends to come with you. And those friends might be boyfriends and girlfriends. It's a whole different dynamic. So if you're really lucky, you might have 10 left. How are you going to use them? Remember, I went home to my wife and I was like, we are horrible parents. You can laugh about it now. I mean, the emotion is still a little bit raw. But it was a wake-up call for us. And it was really a blessing. And I remember the next year, we asked a different question. Based on how old our kids were and where we were, what would be the ultimate spring break we could do? And we went to Legoland and the San Diego Zoo. And all of our trips have been more purposeful because we're counting backwards on a limited amount of time, knowing that there's this window where these kids still want to have fun with us, and it expires. And we've taken them to Italy and France and Costa Rica. And last year, it's a crazy trip of a lifetime. We're actually in the Galapagos Islands. And I remember my wife made a horrible mistake. She has kids, and she starts racking off all these trips that we've done. What's your all-time favorite vacation you've taken? Some of you already know. The staycation. So it's our hope that with time and wisdom, they'll appreciate the choices we made. We still feel good about it. But here's what I'm going to ask you. When you think about the time you have and the things that matter to you, does it change the way you want to make some of those choices, knowing that you've only got so many visits left with the grandparents, so many calls left with your folks, so many more get-togethers with your friends, walks with your dog, or in our case, trips with your kids? Right? It really gets things crystal clear for us. And it helps us kind of address this challenge of how do we stop pinballing through our days and address our true priorities?
All right. Does anybody resonate with that? You want to get the mic, please? Please. So, yeah, so I have a daughter, so that really resonated with me to think backwards instead of it just feeling like an unlimited time. Something very important to think about, I think. The one thing that I know is that regret is typically based off the things you didn't do, not the things you did, right? So think about what's important to you in your life, and maybe consider it being, you have a limited time to get it done. So put some thought to it and be purposeful about what you're doing so that you don't later in life have the regret of what you didn't do when you had the time. So thank you.
Thanks, Bruce. All right, and we're like on time for the first time in 3 weeks, so that's exciting. So, all right, thank you guys. Have a great day.